Hello everyone, this is Cody Lee of BlackCatBooks.org, author of I, the Dragon Crew, and Beautiful Rabbit Hole, King Dio, and the soon-to-be-published Lore and Frey. Please keep an eye out on Black Cat Books for more, BlackCatBooks.org for more information on that. And, wow, holy shit, did I go wild over the weekend? I had a whole week off from work. I spent the entire time working on my novel, but finishing Lore and Frey, but for the parts that I wasn't busy with like other obligations, I was playing games, and I went crazy with holiday sales, especially on Xbox. There were actually a lot of games that I always wanted to try on Game Pass that never, ever came to the service, that I wanted to try. So I ended up a lot of those games were on sale, so I decided to let's pick up Sekiro, let's pick up Dark Souls 3, let's pick up BioShock, games that I kind of wanted to play on stream to give a more modern opinion on. Red Dead Redemption 2 I bought as well. I wanted to give my own impressions on them and kind of talk about them at length because I really, really did not. It's been a while since these games have been relevant. So it's important for me, the best gaming critic in gaming, in the industry, to kind of regularly go back and regularly remind myself that, wait a minute, Dark Souls 3 is complete shit. Sekiro didn't deserve to win any Game of the Year awards. BioShock was overrated. Red Dead Redemption 2 is one of the worst games ever made. I don't see a lot of people really talking about this stuff. And it's really important that I continue to do so. And I think the most important thing at this point, in 2021, post-game awards, we need to deal with the 2020 equivalent of It Takes Two, Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice. Now, first of all, I called out Sekiro last year for winning Game of the Year. I actually had completely forgotten it was the game that had won Game of the Year until I actually downloaded it. I had completely forgotten this game existed. I didn't care about it at all. I didn't talk about it. It was critics didn't seem all that enthusiastic about it. To me, it felt like Sekiro only won because it's a FromSoftware game, and that kind of sparked my own. That kind of sparked my own feelings on the matter. On my feelings on FromSoftware at the moment is the worship that it gets from the gaming media, desperate for any kind of credibility, any kind of any way they possibly they can take to present themselves as serious hardcore gamers, right? So yeah, of course they're gonna praise the shit out of Sekiro. They're gonna hype this up as a true hardcore game for hardcore gamers, and honestly, when I first booted it up and I first started playing it, I actually really appreciated the positive changes they made over the Souls formula by removing the RPG mechanics, by removing some of the jank and the making the animation smoother and focusing more on actually fighting the opponent as opposed to just cheesing certain builds against certain enemies and just which just isn't fun. I feel like it's safe to say even now that I dropped Sekiro and lost all interest in it, it is better than Dark Souls. It has more verticality, it's more fun to explore, it's more fun to figure out what you're supposed to do. The bosses are more interesting. I find them more challenging. I like the combat better. I was honestly, really early on, I felt as if FromSoftware had finally gotten it right. They had finally made something that was worthy of attention. But once you get out of the starting areas, once you start seeing packs of enemies wandering around and sort of interacting with them and taking them out over and over and over again, you start to notice the game's problems. And I do think it's the same thing that's been killing a lot of modern games, is with the really weird path tracking system. I don't know how else to explain this, but enemies don't move organically in modern games. You know what I mean? It feels like in older games, enemies kind of react to your presence, or just kind of come after you. Like they dart around, they avoid attacks. Like they actually feel intelligent and sophisticated. Like they actually feel like they're doing something. You know what I mean? In Sekiro, like I'm seeing like enemies just swing their weapons and like those weapons clipping through people people on their side that are right next to them. I'm seeing like people just somehow ignore your presence. I'm seeing them like I'm seeing like these weird sort of these weird behaviors, right? That just kind of ruin the entire experience. And eventually, when you start getting the hang of the combat system, the entire thing is trivialized. Like when you start like really getting good at Sekiro, when you start exploiting the enemy AI and start getting the ninja tools that really make this game a breeze, you understand why Dark Souls fans are so upset with this game, because without the artificial difficulty of having specific equipment that you need to use against certain bosses in order to survive the first hit, there's nothing to the Souls formula. There is nothing to FromSoftware's combat design or enemy philosophy. Like, it is infinitely more simplistic than other superior action games. Stuff like Ninja Gaiden Black, stuff like Monster Hunter Rise, stuff like Bayonetta. Like I can go all day with like just the number of better action games. I have never really seen anything from Software that really came close to the stuff that I enjoy playing, and it's a big reason why I'm so fed up with the Souls formula and all of their knockoffs. I bought this like indie game the other day. Do you know how many indie games I buy that are just like carbon copy, just Souls knockoffs? Like Ender Lilies is kind of like that. Hollow Knight is kind of like that. Iron Tail was like that. Like I just found myself. I was just appalled at just how little FromSoftware has been able to change up their general design philosophies over the years. Because this was the title that was supposed to be something a little bit different. This was the one that was supposed to innovate, and yet somehow the instant they changed the formula even a little bit, it completely went to shit. Nobody's talking about Sekiro anymore. No one cares. It is irrelevant. Oh, but it won Game of the Year. So did It Takes Two. Nobody's going to be talking about that next year either. Sekiro, I think, is the title that kind of defined what FromSoftware's future is going to be. The instant they stop making Souls-like games, the second that people start getting bored of the formula, they're not going to be able to offer up anything else. They're not going to be able to go back to Armored Core, because Nintendo already put out Daemon X Machina. That they can't make Tenchu games. They can't do anything. Like they are stuck doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over again until even their most dedicated fans get sick and tired of it. I think it's not going to be it's going to be a while until that happens, probably 10, 15 years, but when it does happen, there's never going to be another Dark Souls. There's never going to be another game that resonates with people the same way. It's just going to be, it has been consistently since Dark Souls 2, just been a dedicated group of fanboys convincing themselves that this is the premier action game company on the planet. It's not true, it never was true, and it never will be true. Sekiro was shit, and FromSoftware will always be the same.